Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I wanted to pop in to make a mini haul video. I do intend on getting other supplies. They'll be here in a couple days. Um, so I am planning on getting the walking foot for my featherweight and some quilting squares and rulers. The square rulers or that have the markings on them. So that is going to be something from my parents. So um, I think it's going to be helpful for me to do the projects that I've been enjoying. Um, I technically switched my bag to the thrift store or the thrifted bag that I showed in the last video. I am conflicted now because I want to use my bag that I sewed myself. I I will definitely go back to my sewn bag and I'm going to make more bags. Um, it might be like how I have my knitted wardrobe. I don't really use knitted garments that are the mass produced ones unless they're gifted to me and I do appreciate those. Um, it's not like I don't um, appreciate them or um, there is the element of me feeling like I could make it with a material that is um, more breathable and comfortable for me, and it'll be something that'll last. And it's going to be almost like an heirloom because it's made with materials that um, are better quality usually. If there are hand knit sweaters, they're super high quality and the price shows for it. So I appreciate knitted garments that other people have made, and I feel like I'm more willing to get those if I do get them. Again, they're a lot more expensive, but with the hours it took and the material, that's how it gets added together. Um, I was fortunate enough to have a knitted accessory from a guild member that well, I used to be a part of a guild in the area that I lived in, and the knitted accessory is from one of the guild members, and I do cherish that a lot. So, um, I was at the fabric store. I felt like maybe I would want to get something that wasn't thrifted today. So I did get those treats, and one of them is going to be part of the patchwork skirt, and I feel like I'm pretty set for the materials. I only needed like 7 more squares left. Sorry, just give me a sec. Oh, I don't know if that would be considered lucky, but there was a cricket in the hallway the other day, or the open area. Sometimes they're in the garage. Sometimes I see them in the garage. Um, Otherwise, I do water the plants up front daily, so I open the door and I see bugs sometimes, like outside. Well, when I open the door. So, and then in the backyard, I feed the birds. I don't think those plants need to be watered, so I haven't been watering them. And I should have asked what plants or like what type of um, plants I'm supposed to be watering here. So I've only been watering the ones like at the front door, but I'm thinking one of the crickets crawled um, into the house. It was on the ceiling, just like on the side, just there, and then I didn't see it. It was high up, but now I see it. It could also be because of the weather too. Well, bugs like here, they just last a lot. They're like there's so many of them. Not right now, like in the house, but there's so many of them because of the heat. Because when I lived in the Northeast, there weren't as like there are bugs there, but um, you didn't really see them around as much because they don't really survive in those climates. But over here, especially, not when I'm baking, but when I'm cooking, it's like they just sense it. So now I'm just looking because I tried to get it and I missed. So I'm gonna try to be on the lookout for it because me being the baby, I did sleep in the other room because I'm like, oh man. And I don't really, um, well, I don't eat in my room or anything. Following that, I do have my loaf of bread, but again, they don't really get interested when I'm baking. I just wanted to show it quickly and bring it back downstairs because I just finished it. I used a different recipe. I used the recipe from Natasha's Kitchen. Um, Hers had the weighted or the ingredients using a kitchen scale, and at the time I didn't have a kitchen scale. So as I was weighing it, I did write down the how much of each I weighed because it's definitely awkward because it's combining different um, cups that I put together because I wanted it to be as specific as I can because I know that the professor and others in class they want to have a recipe for the sourdough loaf, and I wanted to try to see what it would be if I were to write it down. And they're awkward measurements. I'm gonna see if I could maybe like if a number of this or that can be just represented with another measurement, so it's not as awkward as I wrote it. But um, I'm really happy with how the bread turned out, and I added rye flour to this one, there's rye flour in my starter, but I haven't put it in for a while. So I'm curious about how complex the taste would be. So I'm excited. I was kind of thinking maybe I should just pop it in the freezer because I heard that, well, she said that if you put it in the freezer the same day, it's like having a fresh loaf if you heat it up again. So I was thinking about doing that. I do have some bread left over, but this bread turned out to be like how I wanted it to be. And I'll show that later because I have other things here. Um, I was finished the patchwork skirt. I did get an elastic band. Sorry, the crinkles. So I picked up an elastic band for it. This one is the non-roll, like so it doesn't roll inside where you're inserting it. There wasn't a smaller size for this. I could have got it at the quilting store, but I figured it would be more expensive, and I do want to support the local small shops. It, I figured, well, I did, but then I got this somewhere else. And then I did make a little trip to the Hungarian market because I did see something that I didn't get last time that I wanted to get. So I got another decal. This was the only one with Ukraine on it, so I picked it up. I don't know where I'll put it, but I have stuff like this in a lot of places. I could place it in the car again, but I'm not sure. I I just put it at the dashboard. It did affect it with the sun and everything. Like with the other one that I have, that I stuck on my laptop. So I'll see. Then I'm the I don't know this patch, but it was the only one there, and I was thinking I could put it in like a scrap project because I'm gradually learning the different parts of quilting and sewing in general. I was looking at the price for batting, like the cotton batting, because I saw like hot pads that you use in the kitchen to place your whatever maybe you got out of the oven or like that you got off the stove. So, um, there's the heat heat and bond. I forget what it's called, but that one you use the iron for. And I saw Machiko Hirayama. I I was watching. Sorry, there's a plastic bag. I was watching older tutorials or um, videos, and it turns out she actually moved to America, and on the same coast as, or the same side. I'm not technically directly on the coast, but um, where I'm currently staying. So um, she was using that product, and she makes a lot of scrap projects, and she has made cases that I really want to make, and that was one of the products that she used for the inside. And so I wanted to try that too. I forget what the name is, but I'm sure I could find it online. And the video was it it was good for those who haven't quilted. but can do the hot pads because you're doing the steps of quilting. So wanted, I was thinking about doing it. I don't know if well, once you make a hot pad, like a large hot pad, they're really convenient to have. In the videos that I've seen, the people that have, um, well, the people that have received them as gifts or tell the person that made them that they're like the kitchen item they didn't think that they needed, but they use it all the time. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I could get the practice and then I would have a hot pad. I'd probably just keep it here, but it depends. Like, a lot of times, my first projects I kind of keep for this, um, because I like having the first ones usually. So, oh, did I show this patch? I got this patch. I I feel like it would make sense once I know the representation of it, but I feel like once I know it, it'll all come together because some of the symbols make sense to me. That'll go in a project. And then I did work on the case. I think I'm going to make another case because I forgot to account for the fabric for the bottom of the bag. So this is what I did, but I'm either might put it like a zipper or I might keep it as is because it's kind of nice to have an open container where your cake isn't just maybe potentially rolling or falling and rolling on the ground or something. So this has the sock in it and it has the boxed bottom for it, and I'm happy with the way that it's turning out because with sewing its shapes that you're putting together, I originally wanted it to be a drawstring bag, and technically, I guess I could. It would be even smaller, but it kind of looks like something that you would pack lunch in. But I do have other fabric left. I don't have much, but I that might be just nice to have as a small case. And I was thinking maybe putting this fabric with it. I'm not sure yet. On the inside, I really love this fabric, and I got it from the thrift store. So sorry, I'm just seeing because I saw it go underneath the dresser after I missed. Did I say I was a baby and I slept in the guest room because I was like, well, I don't want it to accidentally fall from the ceiling or something while I'm sleeping. So I had to see where it's at. But I think like I got the shape because initially it was for the inside was for like something that wasn't gonna go with this project, but since I wasn't using it for anything else, it turned out to be nice to go with this. And I'm gonna see what like the inside, like what I would put on the inside to make it a little more structured for other projects. But this is nice. So before I show the fabric that I got, and they're fat quarters, but they're special because they're from the quilt store, so they're more of like the brands. Um, I had this for a while and I never used it. But I was thinking about making a bag, and I feel like this would be something that would kind of tick the boxes for me in terms of something durable too. I still will definitely use my other bags, and I feel like they are pretty durable considering um, they're handmade. Of course, you can make durable things that are handmade, but I'm happy with the construction of my last sewn bag. So I would like to make another one using this material. So this is large suede, sorry, it's large size suede remnant pack, assorted colors, 3 pounds. I got this at Hobby Lobby a while ago, like a couple of months ago, and it was for like the intentions of, well, thinking about making a bag with it. So I really wanted to use the pink one that's in the back. So with these two colors, I feel like I could do I would like another quilted star bag and with those colors too. And then I think I might add a zipper, but I'm not sure yet. And I don't know if I would, I don't know what I would line it with, unless I line it with itself. So I do have leather needles for the sewing machine. That's actually, I think, what I have now, unless I kept what they put on my sewing machine. Um, for at least that one, I think I did switch the needle on my featherweight too to see if it would help. And it helped a little bit, but it's kind of awkward with that needle, so I'm gonna look into it more. There's also the quilting ones too, but I feel like I could start that project at some point because it seems exciting to me. I do have to fill my bobbin up again because I ran out of thread at the bottom of the sewing machine. I didn't yet. That was for the featherweight. So instead of filling it, I actually just used my other sewing machine. But I definitely want to get to it. And then finally, the fabrics that I got. So this one, I just thought that this reminded me, well, I think that this reminds me of a handkerchief, or a headscarf. So it has the floral print on it. I was actually starting to look at the names. I don't know if they're just the like the wholesalers maybe that they get it from, and then they sell more than one brand because there were like names that for each, like some of them that were like for the aisle, and then some had like one different one on each side, and then but there were more names like on the shelves, so I'm not sure if they're just going more in depth or they have like different categories that they have of their lines of fabric. But there is one like the Moda, and I looked on their website and they were saying like these are your grandma's fabrics or quilted fabrics. So I feel like maybe that's the type of fabric that I gravitate towards. I know I really love florals. I'm always getting florals. I do enjoy like pattern print like I'm about to show this one. So these are again are fat quarters, and I really love this style. Um, I feel like I I like incorporating them into the project. These tend to be fabrics that I like to go for. Maybe if I have like a random fun project, I might get something animated. I do have some, but I don't usually get them if there's like a specific theme. But if I do more of the wonky houses, which I intend on, it just seems like there's so much stuff that I want to do, then uh, maybe I could use more of the animated type of fabrics that have cars on them, or just like the ones like when you're camping, or animals. I do get animals sometimes. Um, Trees, stuff that would be helpful for like a when you're making that type of project or incorporating it in that type of project. So I'm going to put this in the skirt, and I'm gonna save this one because I'm kind of building up a stash again. I don't want like a huge stash, and I do have a lot of scraps that I would like to make into like a scrap project, so I'll see. But the skirt takes a lot of fabric of each. I'm making like, well, not of each, but the ones that I chose to put in for the patches. But once it's done, I feel like that would be like so fun to wear. And I kind of felt like when I went to the quilt shop that they were kind of sad that I didn't have my bag that I made, because um, one of the ladies there, she kept saying to somebody else how much she enjoyed my bag, and I would like to bring it out again, and it goes with my bandana, so it's fun. So I don't know how long this is gonna take to upload. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sorry, I'm gonna show the bread. I'm not really gonna try to keep it up here for long. So I'll get it. It's on my dresser. Oops. I'm really happy with this one. You can't really see it because of the lighting, but it has more of the um, crust part at the top. And for other bread, I don't really go for the crust like that, but for the sourdough, I love the outside of it. I tried to dust it off, and I did for a lot of it. I was trying to do a braid of some sort, but I was just happy that I was able to at least put some type of design, because with this one, um, the dough was a lot more manageable for me even before I did the cold proofing. Um, it might be more flavorful because I waited longer to take it out of the fridge. But I mean, the other one was super tasty too. I'm not done with it completely. That's why I was like, should I even open this? But I do want to check on the inside because I am going to make a loaf mm, early next week before class because people want to try bread. I knew people liked bread, but I didn't realize that people really like bread. And some people were saying how much they love eating it. So I will do that. And at some point, I would like to do it kind of soon. I want to do like the bread, like for the bread pan, or like the narrow one, because it would be nice to have it in that shape. Um, I might, I could put some of it in the freezer and then heat it up again when I'm ready to have it, because I still have bread left over. But I really wanted to try the recipe now that I have a scale, and I'm really happy with it. Um, I did mix the flours up a little because I didn't want to use all. I have a lot of bread flour and all-purpose flour left, and I even have a lot of rye flour because it doesn't take a lot of rye to put in here. But I just made bread like a couple days ago, so I didn't want to like go through the stash that quickly. And then this week, I think maybe Sunday, I'm gonna make pie. That's usually the day I make pie when I have it. Um, because I put the blueberries in the freezer. I don't want to keep them in there for too long because I still want them to have their taste. I noticed that like if I don't keep the blueberries in the freezer for that long, it still tastes like they're more flavorful when you put them in your baking. I have tried like just strictly frozen blueberries that I bought frozen, and those lost a lot of flavor. I might eat some of them because I have whipped cream that I made because I it was in the fridge and I just wanted to make it up. Well, I originally had heavy whipping cream in the fridge that I didn't want it to change its shape because, or change its form because it's the vegan version. Then I noticed that it tends to like, I don't think it, like it freezes up, but it starts to clump even though it's not past expiration once it's opened. So I added sugar to it to make it like a substitute for condensed milk. Then I didn't really need it for a while, and so I decided to whip it up, and now it tastes like just whipped cream. So it's great for topping like fruit and desserts, whatever you want to do with it. So I'm gonna get another mason jar too, because I don't really want to give them thrifted jars just in case. And then I'm gonna give more of my starter. I did feed it again. I barely had any left. Like I had a little, and then there was some like that was coating the sides of the jar because the bread recipe that I used this time called for double the amount of the active starter, and that was just about what I had in the jar. So I wanted to make sure that just to make sure that the starter could still grow and I could still feed it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have anything to give. Um, and it's it grew a lot, so I'm happy that it is active. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this uploads sooner rather than later. The last couple took a while. Um, I'll see you in another video.